Hi everyone, it's Donna Robertson with Fabric Cafe, and today I've asked my wonderful trustee Hannah Johnson to join me. Hannah's been working with us since the 1st of June, and she has turned out to be an excellent right-hand man.
Well, thank you.
Woman. But we work very well together, and she puts all of the shows together. Her background is in theater, and I've been telling her she's just become my stage manager and my producer and my reminder, because I have a tendency to forget things. So we came up with the idea of, well, we didn't come up with the idea of this show. Actually, I'm going to let Hannah tell you how this show came about.
So a few weeks ago now, we posted a question on our Facebook saying if you guys had any suggestions for what you wanted to see in the videos. So today's video is a very popular topic of backing. We had a lot of people request it. So shout out to Kathleen Moore Schmidt and Janice. I'm so sorry. I'm probably going to say your last name wrong. You can correct me in the comments. Janice Probstel? Just say it a couple ways. Jan Lum and Laura Jean Wilson Hodge. Thank you. All of these ladies requested that we do this video, and which has been really helpful. If you guys in the future have more ideas for videos, don't hesitate to give us a message or post a comment. It's helpful for us to know what you like, because we're here for you.
That's right. And if these ladies are listening today, if you will private message us, we will send you a pattern. So thank you for your suggestion, and we'll let you pick out any one of our 3-yard quilt patterns, and we will send you the file. So that'll be a nice thank you for helping us come up with these ideas. Mm-hmm. Now, we do want to point out that on our free goodies button on our homepage of the website, fabriccafe.com, you will find a button that says free goodies, and we have something for you if you would like to download it. There's no charge. They're just instruction sheets for how to deal with your backings. We have how to prepare a backing for a 3-yard quilt. And as many of you know, you can actually buy 2 kits or 6 yards of fabric to make a twin. So we have the instructions for how to make a twin size quilt backing. And then we have the King Queen. The King Queen only requires 9 yards of fabric. So if you're buying 4 kits to make a King Queen, only select backing for 3 of your kits, and then buy the 4th kit with no backing, because you don't need that 4th backing when you're doing your King Queen. So you can save a little bit on that. And then the last thing we have is a sheet on how to use 108 wide backing. So as you know, 108 yards, that would be one big backing. 108-inch backing is about the size you would need for a King Queen, and normally it's 3 yards of 108-inch backing. And Kathy Gaff, I met in Pennsylvania years ago. We became really good friends, and she always helped me out in my classes. And she told me one day, she said, did you know you can take a 108 backing and cut it in half? You buy 2 yards, cut it in half, and you can have 2 backings for your 3-yard quilts. So we put the instructions on how you cut that as well. Now, she makes lots of charity quilts, and so it really is a big savings to her. So let's put these over to one side, and we'll go into our show. If you're joining us for the first time, we want to point out that we have 3-yard quilt books. The 3-yard quilt books have 8 patterns each, and each pattern is written for 3 sizes. You get a lap size, a twin, and a King Queen. So you'll want to keep that in mind. And Hannah, would you hand me a book? Any book will do.
Oh,
so I can show the insides. The first quilt that we're going to talk about, as soon as Hannah gets back, I'm just sent her on a mission here. So I wanted to show you the inside of one of the books. And so here you have your lap size. Here you have your twin, and here you have your King Queen instructions. So you'll want to keep that in mind while you're looking at these quilts. If you see a quilt that you really like, you'll need two of them for the twin. So this is the quilt we want to show here. This is Stepping Stones. We're out of this fabric, but we have a great replacement fabric, and we're going to show you that. So Stepping Stones is the pattern. It makes a great quilt for any fabric. It's actually been pinned more times than any other one of my quilts. It's been very, very popular on Pinterest. So this is the fabric that we've selected for this particular one. This is called Winter Portraits. It is with Stepping Stone pattern. The kit number is 8020467. You can get the individual pattern here, or if you want to get a book that has this pattern in it, then you would get the Pretty Darn Quick book, and that one has the Stepping Stones pattern included. So now let's look at this fabric. It's really pretty, and it has the cardinals. Isn't that pretty? And a light blue bird. I'm not even sure what that is. It kind of looks like a dove to me, but it has the pretty birds on this one. It has the little greenery and the little bits of snow. And we've picked up the same little sprig of greenery with some of the little berries. And then to coordinate it further, we have the red. Now the first backing that we're going to show you is a 108-inch fabric that's on our website. So we're going to pull this one over here and like so you can see this. And this is what that backing would look like with this particular quilt. And I do use the focus fabric a lot when picking out my quilt backings. So a couple of little tips would be this. Find a color that you like in your focus fabric, and then make sure that it looks good with the other two fabrics. So in this case, these pretty blues, I just thought that would be so nice with this. This is a 108 wide backing. We do sell it by the yard on our website. It would not be where you picked it. When you buy a quilt kit, you can say add the backing. You don't do it there, you buy it separately. If you put add the backing, then we do pick you out a backing that looks really nice. So this is the 108 fabric. And just real quick, like, if you open this up, you have it's double folded, and then coming off of the bolt, they fold it again. If you open it all the way out, you'll have a fold on one side. You'll have selvages on the other side. All you have to do is buy 2 yards of fabric, trim the fold off, and then you will have 2 pieces of fabric, and it will back 2 of the lat size quilts. So that's in that instruction sheet that I mentioned to you. You will get that information. Okay, so this is one of the backings. And now I also like to use the 45-inch wide fabric. It gives you a lot more variety, and we just have a lot of 45-inch wide fabrics, so it's a great way to back your quilts. So we pulled some of these. Here's another option for a way that you can back your quilts. So we already know that this looks good with this focus fabric because we've used it for our number 2. But that is a second way that you can pick out your backings. Just pick one of your fabrics and use it on your backing. It works really well. So that is a really good way to do that. Just pick out one of the fabrics that's in your quilt. Now we do have, this is the 108 backing. Here's your number if you wanted to do that. You buy it separately.
That's the number of the kit, the lower number.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you.
No, that's right. This is the number for the fabric that you're talking about.
Oh, what would I do without her? Okay, let's try that one more time. Here's your kit number for Winter Portraits. But if you wanted the backing suggestion, which is the 108 blue backing, that's the number for it. And remember, you're going to buy 2 yards, you'll cut it in half, and you'll have 2 backings. So you can back another quilt with the other half. If you choose the, if you want to choose where we have add backing to your kit, then you can put in the comments section, I want backing A. Now, we do have limited supply of this, but the first 4 or 5 people that order will get backing A. If we run out of this fabric, we will send you a different fabric to go with. Now, Socks is in my office, and I can hear her meowing. I promise we're not mistreating the cat. We know that if she wants to be the center of attention. Okay, our next quilt that we want to show you, we do not have this fabric, but we have some adorable fabric. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. This particular one is called Garden Path, and we did run out of these cute little, these were called Metro Chickens. I thought that was a cute name. But Garden Path is in my Fast and Fun book, and we are going to put that one up on the table just so you can see it, and then we're going to show you the fabrics, and then I have pieces and parts to show you. Okay, so this is adorable, adorable, adorable. Look at these doggies. Aren't those cute? Just precious. This is brand new fabric that we just got in from Michael Miller. Isn't it adorable? I love this. And if Felicia's watching, that's my granddaughter. She has a little weenie dog like this. His name is Achilles. So I thought about her when I saw this fabric. Okay, so fabric number 1, your focus fabric, goes in the number 1 position of your pattern when you're using a 3-yard quilt pattern. And the number 2 is your lightest of the leftovers. And then number 3 would go for your 3rd position. So that'll be out on the borders of your quilt. This will be the background color, and this is your focus. Now let's look at our little pieces and parts that we have. When you're following one of my patterns, one of the things that I do quite frequently is called strip piecing. I will tell you to sew your pieces together in long strips like this, and then we will cut what we call units off of that. So this is a unit that we cut off of the side of this particular one. And we have a couple of those units, so let's look at those. So if you were to look at this quilt here, how this quilt is made like this. You have one piece right in the middle. You have one of these units on one side, and you have the other unit here. So that is what makes this particular block. Then you have your solid piece here with your doggies. Isn't this cute? And if we want to take it a little bit further, what we did was we created a completed block to go on top of that. So that kind of gives you an idea of what your quilt is going to look like using these particular fabrics. Okay. All right, so this particular one is called Puppy Time. The backing A that I'm going to show you in just a minute just so happens, it's just like I said a minute ago, it is one of the fabrics that's in the quilt. So we've chosen that as one of your options, and if you like that beige, then you will ask for backing A in your comments. Now our second backing, and I want to go ahead and take this part. Well, we're going to do something also very interesting. We're going to get the cat and put her in the other room because she really wants to come in here, but we're going to move her to another room. Okay, so now we're going to talk about a second backing. So we have the one backing is here. And the second backing that we picked is totally opposite, but I like this with it. You know, the puppy dogs and kitties they run our lives. That's the star of our show. And I saw this fabric and I thought it was so cute. It picks up the browns, the tans, and this kind of a reddish brown that's in the puppy dog. I thought this would make such a cute backing. A lot of times it's just subjective. If you want to go the safe route, you match something that's in the quilt. If you want to get a little bolder so that you've got something of even more interest, then you would put something like this on the backing. And I think that would be so cute. So let's lay that up like that so you can see it. Well, these are just a few of the ways that I look at the fabrics. And as you know, you see all this fabric behind us. When it comes time to picking backing, we can have a lot of fun. But everybody in the building has had a chance to help pick out backing. And if they just get really lost, they go, Donna, come and help me. So, and I'll go in and say, I think I like this one and this one. Okay, the next quilt, this one is called Bold Blocks. And we do have this fabric available. And if you've watched before, you know this is one of my fabrics that I did for, curated for Quilting Treasures. It's a very pretty fabric in the teals and the purples. If you love those rich, bold colors, this one's going to be for you. So we're going to pull this over and look at these pretty fabrics. So our focus fabric, this is our number 1 fabric. And then our number 2 fabric, you compare the two. The lightest is your number 2, and the darkest is the number 3. So those are very, very nice. And this particular pattern is called Bold Blocks. Now we came up with 2 different backings for this. Now this is a similar, I did 2 lines of fabric, and both of those lines of fabric we crossed over with the coordinate pieces. And this one would be great. See how it coordinates really well with that second fabric? Well, it also coordinates well with the background here. So you can see that teal and how it just picks up that teal that's in the focus fabric. So once again, just find something that looks good with your focus fabric, and then make sure that you like it with your matching pieces. I think that would be very, very pretty. Now, some people don't like dark on the back. They like a lighter color. And again, it is rather subjective, but we have a second one here that we could use. Now, this too is from the same line of fabric, and it's a purple vine that's just a different color in the set. So that one as well would be a great backing, and a little lighter if you don't like dark backing. And it just depends on the quilt for me. Sometimes I do like darker backing. Okay, let's look at this one. Let's see. This one is the backing suggestion. Now you have to purchase these. They are individual, so you'll go and find the fabric number 5519105. These are premium backings, and so you will have to go in and actually order the number of yards that you need. You need 3 yards for a lap quilt. You need 6 yards, 5 yards for a twin, and 9 for a king queen. All right, and then the other one was the turquoise circle, and here is your pattern number for that. If you want that, again, you would order it separately. That is just the backing. Now this is the kit number, so you have a kit number here. You do get 1 free pattern with each kit, or you can skip the little patterns and take a book free if you order 3 kits. So this is the kit number. It's called Violet Garden. It's with the bold block pattern, and that's the one that Hannah was holding up. And the pattern is also available in Pretty Darn Quick if you want to get a free book instead of the little patterns. Okay, the next one that we have is another one of the fabrics that I curated with QT, and this one's called Friends and Family. Now, this one I would say it's probably one of the most popular fabrics I think I've ever had out, and people have loved it. I say it with a quilt. It says love, friends, family, and during these times especially, the friends and families are very, very important to us. This comes in 3 different colors. It comes in a teal, a purple, and a gray. And what I chose to do with this one is I put the fabric on the back with the gray fabrics. So this one has the Friends and Family fabric on the back. And what's really cool is you wouldn't have to even use the friends and family on the front, you could back any quilt that this would blend with. So it's sort of like a little extra that you would write a love note in the back of the quilt. So it's a great fabric for backing fabric. Okay, here's your fabrics. So this is kit number 801958, and it's using the porch rails pattern. That is also available in that Pretty Darn Quick book. So if you liked this one with the Circle of Friends words for the backing, you would order it here, 5519114. All right, so that is this particular fabric is what we used on the backing for that one. But we did give you an alternate so that you could see it as well. And the alternate is a green vine, which, once again, matches your secondary fabric. And that one is the moss green vines with the purple berries. So see, it has just a little purple, and that will pull it into the purple in the friends and family. Okay, let's look at these fabrics. And this is your friends and family fabric will be your number 1. Your number 2 fabric is your lightest of the 2 leftovers, so light and dark compared to each other, not to this. If you look at this, you'll see this is the darkest fabric, but because it had the biggest print, I chose it for the focus, and that's just fine. It will always work out with your light and dark after that. This one is called Family Time, 801958. It's porch rails is the pattern. That is also available in the Pretty Darn Quick. So the last 3 quilts we've shown you are all from the book Pretty Darn Quick. And when you buy 3 kits, you can take the book free instead of the individual patterns. So that would be a good buy if you liked all 3 of those. Okay, now remember how cute those puppies were? Well, we've also got kitties. So let's look at the kitties by the same artist, and another new one from Michael Miller. And the quilt that we're showing is Sweet Times. We don't have this fabric, but it's going to look adorable with those kitties. You put the kitties in the big block, and then it's a big block, and it's bordered by the 2 additional fabrics. So that would be really cute with these kitties. Okay, so we'll come down here and look at the kitties. And these, again, it's a precious fabric. Aren't they cute? So we have our kitty lovers and our puppy lovers, and we have those who love kitties and puppies. So just, you know, that'd be cute to get the kitties and the puppies and put them in one quilt, wouldn't it? That would be adorable. Okay, your focus fabric. And then your secondary fabric is your lightest, and that's your pink. So it picks up those pinks in there. And then we kind of laughingly said, and these are the cat scratches on your furniture. Or if you're lucky like me, my cats just absolutely love their scratching post, and they have used it well. But that's a great fabric to then blend with your gray, but also pick up a little bit of that white. Now, what would we recommend for this one? It's Sweet Times. It's in the Easy Peasy book. It's also as an individual pattern. Your kit number, 8020469. And the Cat's Meow is the name of the kit. Now, we stayed with what we've been telling you along, and that is you could do the secondary fabric a lot of times is one of your best to get maybe a little lighter. But then you can also do, let's see, backing, is this one backing A? Or was this one?
That's backing
That's
A.
backing A? Okay.
You got it.
I have to make sure that Hannah keeps me on the straight and narrow. So if you wanted the pink for your backing, you would ask for the backing A. And remember, we have 2 or 3 bolts of these, but we can't guarantee you're going to get that. But if you order right away and ask for backing A, we will definitely put it in your order. And then if we run out of that one, we'll find you another nice pink. As you can see on that back wall, we have lots and lots of fabric that we can choose from. Now this is an alternative. It's not a matching fabric, but it's picking up those grays. And also the patterns that are in your backing, I think, are important. So this particular one, I liked the little flowers. It just seemed like a nice soft touch for your kitties. So this is called backing B. Now the way you get these, then you're going to just ask for the add backing. So you order your kit and it will give you an option to add backing. The premium backings, you do have to order them by the yard, but if you order here, you will get your backing selected for you. You can put in your comments the backing A or B as we showed it to you, and we will try to match that up. We picked out backings that we had a lot of it so that we could do that. Your kit number again is the 8020469. Okay, the next quilt that we have to show you is tumbling triangles. Okay, now sometimes this happens, y'all have seen it done before, is that I will run out of some of the fabrics that we're putting in our kits, and so we have to actually give you some alternate fabrics. Well, we had really bright fabrics in the center of this, and we no longer have these fabrics, but we still had some of the border fabric. So we have pieces and parts to show you. So let's put that over here. And tumbling triangles is a very popular pattern, and we have a little different fabric. So these are now your fabrics for this. This one is called Tropical Sunset, and we chose to pick up the green that's in your background, and then we also picked up the black and white dot, and I love this particular one. So we have tumbling triangles. Here's your number of your kit. Tropical Sunset is the name, and your pattern is tumbling triangles. Now this pattern is only available as an individual pattern, but if you choose to take one of our books, remember any 3-yard grouping of fabric will work with any pattern I write, so you could use any one of my patterns to make the quilt. Now let's look at our little pieces and parts, and I asked Sandy to whip these up for me so you can see them. Now your light green is your number 2 fabric, and your black is your number 3 fabric, and this is the way you're making tumbling triangles. It's all in the way you turn your blocks. So we're going to put these together for you, and you will be able to see how cool is that. Let me get my cropping tool so we can show you. We'll block out some of this pink out there and purple so you can kind of see it. And you can still see it with this border. So that's identical fabric, but the center is going to look a little different for you. I think that one's really pretty. Okay, so if we look at our fabrics, and then we'll look at our backings. So you've got your focus fabric as your number 1. Got that cute little diamond as your number 2. And your number 3 is the black and white. So those are your fabrics. Now I'm going to go ahead and let Hannah take these so I can pull the backings up. All right, so our first backing that we chose for this one is a light green. Now this is a green that it's in the same family. Sorry, John, I'm just moving it all over the place. But it goes just a little bit darker, and that would be really cool on the back. The other one we did, if you are a bright person that just really likes bright colors, then we brought out this kind of a watermelon color, which is gorgeous too. So let's put those and get you some numbers. So if you like the green, that's your A color. Just put that in your comment section when you order it and you select add backing, then you put this in your comments and you will get that for your backing as long as it lasts. I think we have like 3 bolts of that, so you might be just lucky enough to be one to get one of those. The backing B is the kind of a watermelon color, and once again we'll lay this up here and you can see how pretty those look together. Okay, thank you. All right, the next quilt that we have to show you, again, we don't have this fabric, but we do really like this particular quilt. It's called Dominique, and it's in our Modern Views book, or you can get an individual pattern. And the fabric that we've chosen for this one, I'm going to pull this out like so. Oh, you had it stacked up exactly the way it should have been, Hannah. I'm backseat driving Hannah's perfect way of working, so I'll show you how this goes.
No, it's perfect.
Well, I saw that light color and I said, oh, that needs to go over there, but we did this just a little bit differently. Okay, so now we have our focus fabric will go in one of the squares, and then you've got your 2 fabrics that are left over, and in this particular case, let's put that one up here on the table for a second, Hannah. We want you to see what we've done here is we've mimicked the polka dot. Where this is a dark polka dot, we're going to use a light polka dot. So your flower that's in the center will be light. So your fabric 1, your fabric 2, and then this will be your fabric 3 in this particular case. And that's another cool thing about 3 1-yard cuts of fabric and a 3-yard quilt pattern. You can actually change the position of the fabric without any problem whatsoever, because every position requires the same amount of fabric. Okay, so backings for this. Let's see, here's our kit number, and it's April Showers. The pattern is Dominique. This is what the pattern looks like. It's also available in the Modern Views book. All right, so for backings, we've picked out one of the darker colors, which is the blue. This one would be very pretty with it. Very striking color for the backing, so we accented the blues in there. There's also a lot of gray in this particular quilt. You can see the gray leaves, and you can see all the squiggles in gray. So we thought this would be a cool one to use for a backing. So it kind of gives you a little touch of that gray. So we just pull out a color that we like, that we think looks good with all 3 of the fabrics. Now, your backing A would be the blue, and the backing B is the gray. So whenever you select add backing, you just put in your comments whether you want the A or the B backing. Or, you know, if you don't like either one of those, you can say, surprise me. We're here to surprise you or to please you. All right. Okay, the next quilt that we have, this one's called Time Machine. And this one is one that we did for Easy Does It. Somebody said they got a kick out of me saying that the older I got, the more it was like playing charades with myself. Well, it's also the older I get, the harder it is for me to remember the names of all of my patterns. I've got so many of them out there now. This one's Time Machine. It's from the Easy Does It book. It is not an individual pattern. It's only available in the book. Do we have this?
We do, and we have it
ready.
We have only a few left.
Only 4 left. This is a last chance. So if you want to do the same thing that I have done here, then you'll want to order one of these because it is a last chance. Isn't that a pretty, pretty quilt? So this is 801971. It's called Southern Charm. The pattern is Time Machine. It is in the book Easy Does It. An alternate pattern would be Stepping Stones, another very popular one, and that one is in the Pretty Darn Quick book. So you have 2 books that would either one of those would work. It is a last chance. There's only 4 left. You could buy 4 of them and make a king queen. So if you're falling in love with this one, hurry. Okay, let's look at some colors.
No backing for this.
Oh, no backing for this. Okay. It's a last chance.
You want to flip it up and look at each of the fabrics?
Oh, that's a good idea. So this is your focus fabric. And this is another one of those times where your focus fabric is actually darker than your remaining 2 fabrics. So you don't compare that one when you're doing your lights and darks. You pick out your focus first, then you do your light, and then you do your dark, and you get that great look that actually is offset the way that I intended it to be. Would you bring that quilt over? So let's hold it up one more time and we'll show you what I'm talking about. The light within the quilt, the number 2 fabric, is basically your background fabric. And I position it so that it really sets off the design element of the quilt, which is this diamond or on point square and this one. So that light just goes to the back and it causes the design elements to kind of flip forward. So thank you very much. So you've got your dark fabric, and then you've got your light is your number 2, and your dark one in comparison is your number 3. Okay, we have another one here that would be an alternate kit. This is a brand new kit, just came in, and this one is gorgeous. So this one is called Afternoon Tea. Isn't that beautiful? It's like watercolor roses. So such a pretty, did I leave behind something like the number 3 fabric? When I picked that one up, I kind of left one behind. How about if we look at it that way? Okay, so we've got our beautiful roses. That's your focus. Then you have your 2 remaining, and we do have the lightest one as our number 2. And the darkest one as the number 3. So this is Afternoon Tea. We are recommending the time machine, just like you got to see on the other one over here, and that would be very gorgeous. Now, let's talk about some backing fabrics. Here we decided to stay with the lilacs and purples, so you can see how pretty that would be if you wanted to use that as your backing. That would be your backing A if you chose that one. Then we also picked up a green. Now this green, put that up there, is a good complementary color for purples. So that would be your backing. That would be your backing B if you chose that. So that one is the backing for Afternoon Tea. All right, I'm going to hand those over to you. And then the last one in our grouping, oh, no, it's not either. It is not the last one. The last one, the next one in our grouping, we're going to talk about the Hallelujah fabric. And this one would be a good choice for this one. We did do this a little different. Usually the focus fabric is inside the quilt, but I put it around the border. This has a nice big 5-inch border, and it really does set off when you have 2 soft colors in the middle. So I chose to put my focus fabric in the number 3 position, which would normally be your darkest fabric. But in this case, it's just going to be the focus fabric goes into the number 1 position, the number 3 position, and it says Hallelujah all over it. Isn't that pretty? And then the center of the quilt would be these other 2 fabrics. So this one says Hallelujah. In the center of your quilt, you would have the light blue and the gray. And that would be very, very pretty in the candy stripe pattern. And, oh, there it is. Okay, and here's your kit number. Hallelujah. Candy stripe is the pattern that we're recommending. Now let's look at some backings here. We've got a couple of them. We chose to stay with the same real muted, what are we calling it now? the grays, the farmhouse chic is real muted colors and a lot of light gray. It inspired me to go out and buy a gray sofa, so it got me. I really do like that. So that's one of them that we did, and it has like a geometric. There's not a lot of design in these, so a geometric could go very nicely with these three. Or if you want to go a little softer, then you might pick something like this, which is a floral that we thought would look great. So it kind of picks up the grays as well as the white. Now, that would be your backing A. And again, whenever I'm showing you backing A and backing B, all you have to do is put that in the comments section after you've chosen add backing to your kit. So it's 8020195 is the kit number, and the backing B would be what you would request if you want the florals. All right. Now we've got a couple more of the last chance kits. That just means there's not many of these. So if you've been looking at them and you think you might like to have one, you might rush right over there. This one's really pretty. Pretty set. It's called Whimsy. We recommend the Topsy Turvy. Topsy Turvy is one of my smaller quilts. It's 46 by 53. Most of the lap quilts are about 45 by 60. So this one is a little bit smaller. It'd make a great lap quilt for a small person or a child's quilt. The colors are just gorgeous with those sherbety colors and that lavender. So pretty together. And this one is a last chance. There's only 3 remaining. Wow, this one went in a hurry, didn't it? Mm-hmm. I think we just showed this a week ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, we just showed this one a week ago. There's only 2 left. It's been a very popular kit, and it's another one that's got a lot of the muted colors, but it's great. It's called Moonlight Garden. We have 2 of these left, and it has the pretty mottled blues and beiges together, and then we picked up the beige. And then we have this awesome swirl that has a little bit of a beige or almost a gold tone to it. And that would be your number 3. Now, this one we recommend the rail fence. That's in our Quick and Easy book. Now, Quick and Easy is my very first book, and it's only available at this time through downloadable. But if you buy 3 kits and you want that book, then we will send you a code so that you can download it free. So this is a last chance. We only have 2 left. So if you've been thinking about that one, you might want to check that one out. So I hope that you've enjoyed this, and we thank our readers again for giving us the idea to talk a little bit more about backing and how we go about the picking process of selecting our backings. A lot of it is very subjective, what you like, whether you like dark or light, or whether you want to pick up, but it is nice to make sure it goes with that focus fabric, because that's the one you're going to see the most of if it's folded up together. So it's Donna Robertson and Hannah Johnson and John behind the camera. We thank you for joining us. I will not be here Thursday, but John is going to do a great segment called Quilts for Men and Boys. So he's going to do that on Thursday. And then Tuesday, he's going to do the program again because I will still be out of town. But I will be back the following week, and then we'll have more news for you there. Remember to check out the Great Wisconsin Quilt Show. Is a virtual show that takes place on the 10th, 11th, and 12th of September. We will be doing 3 days of live broadcast. Is that what you call it, broadcast?
Why not?
That shows my age, doesn't it? 3 days of live Facebook, and it will be 2 hours each day on the 10th, 11th, and 12th. And do we have a fun-packed schedule for you? We're going to post the schedule in about a week, so you'll be able to go on and get the schedule and plan what you want to come back to see. So we'll tell you the times that we will be introducing each of the subjects.
And they have to register for it.
Oh, that's right. Now, for the Great American Quilt Show.
Great Wisconsin.
Oh, there you go. The Great Wisconsin Quilt Show. You have to register for it, but it's free to register. And this is being supported by the PBS station in Wisconsin. And I'm telling you, it is one dynamo show. So you can go shopping and just do booth hopping if you want to. There's multiple vendors doing live Facebook and YouTube, so you'll be able to check it out. Okay, Donna Robertson, see you in a couple of weeks. Bye-bye.